She's dead. My friend is dead. Penta's soul floats lifelessly inside me, like so many others have and will. She died in there, so I never even had to collect her. Her body drips down my spine, her little soul tendrils hang limply. She is inert and lifeless, waiting to be used like any other soul within me. I grab her, trying to push her back into the goopy form. I know it won't work even as I attempt it, over and over. One by one, my tendrils wrap around her, lightly poking and squeezing, trying to elicit some sort of response. But there's nothing. Not a single reaction, twitch, or change. Her being is in stasis, waiting for its ultimate fate after death. I feel part of me wanting that fate to be consumption, and nearly vomit. Vita? Penelope asks slowly. Are you all right? Of course not. You killed her, I accuse, glaring up at her. Sorry, she answers, and a bit of my bubbling rage pops in surprise when she sounds genuinely contrite. It was the only way to save you. When I saw Penta was still in control of your body during the toast, I knew this could happen. You needed to drink the poison, Vita. They were all supposed to die to the poison. It's fast-acting, not instant. Of course the stronger slimes would have time to try and escape. They just wouldn't have been able to if everyone was properly poisoned. Damn it. Damn it, she's right. I fucked up. It was all going so well, but I fucked it all up at the last second. Penelope sighs, walking onto solid ground to pat me on the back. I hate her. I hate myself. I should just reach up and kill her too. Vita, it's okay, she says soothingly, leaning down to whisper in my ear. The soul is safe, right? Do you have the others? No. I didn't have time to grab them. I feel Penelope's magic prod within me, grabbing the slimy corpses and pulling them out slowly. I almost demand for her to stop, but I know that would be stupid. Are they still there? I shut my eyes, annoyed by the tears trying to fall. Why does she care, all of a sudden? Yeah, the souls are still there. I guess I should go grab them before the Mistwatcher gets them. Agreed, Penelope says smoothly. If you keep a few undigested, I might have a place you can practice with them, soon. I blink, looking up at her. Are you serious? I thought. Can't be Templars. You didn't think working for me wouldn't come with perks, did you, Vita? She answers, grinning with self-satisfaction. I feel it, in that moment. She isn't sorry. Did she plan this? No. The idea is ridiculous. She's definitely happy with the outcome, though. She had the perfect excuse to murder my friend. Someone she hated more than anything. The sympathy she's showing couldn't be more fake. Her soul sings with such unrestrained glee, anything else is out of the question. And yet, somewhere I could practice necromancy. Somewhere I could bring Penta back. That bit of hope helps me push aside my grief for now, rushing back towards Talene's house. Penelope jogs after, unable to keep up. I worm my tendrils around my limbs, trying to pull with my soul the way I pull with my muscles. It's awkward, and I stumble many times. I feel it, though. Their strength working together. It's not something I could have done before hatching. Even now, as I digest Remuslime's soul bit by bit, I grow stronger. It looks like there might be diminishing returns. At this rate, I won't end up as strong as Remuslime was before I annihilated him. It's still a big jump, though. I'll at least be stronger than most of my team, in soul if nothing else. Bursting back into the room, I see everyone we left behind rushing to care for all the people that got knocked out in the fight. Someone had bandaged Theodora's neck, but it was too little, too late. Her soul floats above her blood-soaked corpse, right next to that of the slime that controlled her. Melek is trying to wake his mum, but when I walk into the room he and many of the villagers turn weapons on me. Melek is holding Remus's fucking magic sword. I raise my hands in surrender. I'm clean. Penelope just killed my slime, I answer coldly, spitting the words. I'll take the poison to prove it. I get more or less forced to drink the same stuff everyone else did, the poison aching through my bones. It's no big deal now, though, since my friend is dead anyway. People relax considerably after that, and though I get a few hateful glares for having killed Theodora, everyone here understands firsthand that wasn't really me. They don't understand it was my dumbass fault for not drinking the poison sooner, but I'm okay with not explaining. I collect the souls around the room, a plethora of goopy black orbs with human centers blossoming within, plus a double helping of Theodora's blue and red sparky spirit, one with just a bit of slime on top. Vita, Mom won't wake up. Melik panics, glancing at me. I give Talene a once-over. Her soul looks healthy and alive to me. She's fine, I dismiss. Penelope will be here soon, she'll wake everyone up. Wait. He protests as I turn to leave again. Where are you going? I have to go finish my part of the job. The number of souls inside me now is less than the number of Nora that were at the party. Others must have escaped. I killed Slimus already and have both the slime and human Theodora souls, though, so at this point I'm just cleaning up. With my senses reaching as far as I can push my head around the island, knocking on or breaking down doors and whipping tendrils into the people possessed by Nora. One by one, I pick up the missing and the stragglers, telling the hosts to head to Talene's place so Penelope can get the dead dudes out of their necks. Afterwards, all that's left is a final sweep around the vast fields to see if I sense any more Nora souls. Out here, walking slowly through farmland, I am stuck with nothing but my own thoughts. So quickly I'd gotten used to having Penta to talk to. I catch myself trying to think something at her more than a few times, only to be reminded she can no longer hear. She's dead. How much does that really matter, though? I'm a necromancer. Using death to my advantage is what I do. I could murder a nearby animal and talk to her right now if I really wanted to. But only if I put a bit of myself in her first. Only if I force her to submit to me. In some ways, hadn't I already? I'd forced her to obey through violence rather than my talent. Why not the reverse? It almost seems like a stupid question. It feels like there should be so many reasons it isn't a good idea. Yet I'm seriously considering it anyway. It's just nice having a person that understands me. That actually understands me, probably even better than I understand myself. Maybe she wasn't the best friend ever, and maybe she didn't even consider me to be her friend. I liked her anyway, though. I want her back, and it isn't a question of if I'll do it. It's just a question of how. Do I make her a revenant, or should I just keep her inside until I figure out how to create life itself? I can't even imagine how long it would take. It might be faster to try and learn to create revenants that aren't creepily devoted to me. Although, I guess I don't really mind that aspect. Should I mind that aspect? It feels like I should mind that aspect. Is it bad for people to like me, though? Why would it be? Damn it. I wish Penta were here. Well, I mean she's here, but I wish she were alive. I'll have to go home and talk to Rowan and Lynn about it soon. I'm definitely looking forward to going home. This has been kind of a shitty trip. I wanna hug Lynn's soul. Also her in general. Sure enough, there is a slime host hiding out in the fields. They must have fled their body immediately, streaking out of the room to find an unpoisoned host rather than suffer death. Had I not been getting choked and possessed at the time, it wouldn't have been a very effective strategy, yet here we are. They're curled up in a vast field of grain, completely surrounded by tall stalks of wheat. It would have been damn hard for anyone else to find them, but it's more or less a cakewalk for me. I walk over next to them, feeling the slime shiver in fear. I just feel tired. So I sit down, right on top of the shuddering, slime-infested farmer that knows death has come. Hey. So, Mr. Slime. I can kill you quickly if you want, I offer, not really knowing why. I don't know if it hurts, or how much it hurts, but it's fast. The fearful face turns up to look at me, resignation filling his expression. I mean, we don't feel pain, he answers. Our real bodies don't, anyway. Not unless you're hurting our host. I nod. Huh? I hadn't known that. What I'm doing might still hurt, I admit. But, if you want, you can swim into me. What am I saying? Why, you'll still die, I clarify. I'm full of poison. But, you know, if you want to talk a bit without freaking your host out anymore, we can do that. If all you feel is my pain, then the poison's really not that bad. I put my hand on the farmer's neck, waiting for him to choose. Why would you even offer this? The slime asks, laughing humorlessly. I shrug. I don't know why, really. Maybe you will if you hop into my head, though. A moment's hesitation passes before I get that familiar, revolting feeling of an aura swimming up my arm and settling into my neck. I get up off the farmer, letting him scurry a short way away from me as I sit back down on the ground and lose control of my body again. It's not the familiar feeling I was hoping for. This slime lacks Penta's skill at allowing me to move myself while she was still technically in control. Instead, the panic that filled me when Remus was in control fills me again, and I nearly kill the slime on instinct. There's no need for that this time, though. The moment he entered my arm, he started dying. What are you? The slime breathes, feeling my tendrils curled dangerously around them. His voice is much deeper than I or Penta ever used it to be, sounding odd in my ears. I don't know. At this point, I don't care. I'm me. I'll figure the rest out later. It's nice to feel someone care about us, though, the slime whispers, staring up at the sky. Maybe all those things your friends said weren't so crazy. Maybe. But who can say now? We weren't fast enough. You guys and the humans both deserve to live, but you're the ones that were doing the torturing. If you're going to make us choose, then the choice is obvious, the slime agrees. The burden of a solution was always on us. Maybe if we had sought one from the start. Maybe. You never had enough time, though. You're less than a couple weeks old. Huh. I guess we are. It feels like we're all much older than that. Yeah, but I guess Penta was just a baby, huh? Who are you to talk? You're just a kid. Hey. You know I'm 16. It doesn't matter. My old host would insist that 16 years is still a kid. Your life has been pretty fucked up, you know? I can see why your friend was scared for you. Yeah. I feel the slime coming apart in my neck, his soul straining to hold together. You haven't done too badly for yourself, though, the slime continues slowly, voice faltering. You're not perfect, but you're trying. Maybe you don't care about everyone, but I don't really think you're a. His last words fade away as his dead soul drifts down into my tendrils. I give him a light squeeze, storing the soul safely before standing up. The farmer stares at me in a mix of horror and confusion as I turn to them. Sorry about that, I say. The slime is dead now. I think that was the last of them. What did you? I shrug. Come on. Let's get you checked out and immunized. You know Talene's place? Soon I'm alone again, doing a second sweep and taking more time on it than I really need to. I return to a rather morbid scene, silent rows of people in line to get checked out by Penelope, flanked by groups of townsfolk crying out of relief, regret, or mourning. Someone put a cloth over Theodora's tattooed corpse, a safe area to burn her presumably still being prepared on the grass-covered island. Many folks hug their families, embracing under their own power for the first time in too long. Vita, you're back, Penelope acknowledges blandly, her attention on a spell. Were there more? Yeah, I breathe. A few. I took care of them. We should be good. She nods, her hands still busy casting spells on the townsfolk. I'm going to start a large-scale Nora targeting plague here, just in case. It should last a few days and die out, doing absolutely nothing if we've done our job right. Just as a precaution. Sounds good, I answer, shrugging non-committally. One tried to jump in me. I need you to get another corpse out. Then get in line, Penelope answers. Right. I walk to the back of the room to do just that. A now conscious Song approaches me, clutching their ribs. Yeah, okay, kid? The poisoner hisses. Here you're clean now? Yeah, I answer. Sorry, Song. I fucked up at the last minute. No shit, they growl. Theodora's death is on ya. She was a good woman. Yeah, I concede. Sorry. Song huffs out a raspy sigh. It happens. And you saved the rest of us, too. That counts for something. Technically I just saved you, and then you saved everyone else. They let out a cracked, hoarse laugh. Close enough. And if I'd been stronger or faster, Tha-1 might not have gotten ya. He's dead now though, yeah? I nod, glowering at the memory. Extremely. Good, they hiss, patting me on the back. Hey, Remus. Get your old ass over here and apologize to your pupil. The old man in question heads towards me, his soul as temptingly massive as ever. Remus has a sheepish expression on the side of his face that can show it, and it's clear from the looks he's getting that there's more than a bit of lingering resentment directed his way for bringing this crisis in the first place. Vita, he greets me hesitantly. Hey Pops, I answer, grinning back at him. He winces. Please don't ever call me that again. I chuckle. It's not really that funny, but I do it anyway. Yeah. Sorry it took me so long to figure stuff out. You're sorry? He protests. Vita, all of this is my fault. If I had known what those slams were, none of this would have happened. And I should have known. That's my job as a teacher and senior hunter. I shrug, feeling the souls inside me and glancing towards Theodora's corpse. We all make mistakes, boss. I don't really feel like you need to apologize to me. Then at least let me thank you. You and Penelope saved all of us from my mistake. I am proud to call you hunters. Oh yeah. Honestly, the whole being a hunter thing seems so far away. Thanks, Remus, I answer, my heart not in it. Talene approaches us next, hugging Melik tightly with one arm as he clings to her side. The stocky, muscled woman nods to us. Vita. Thank you. Remus. Can I ask a favor? Of course, Talene. Can you take Theodora's body to Skyhope? I think you'll need another metamancer to safely burn it. Oh, Remus says, glancing that way. Of course. Metal inks? Talene nods. Yes, exactly. She and Melik would often. Well, the point is, she's doubtlessly still charged with mana. It's kind of poetic. With her gone, no one here can give her a proper rest. I know it'll be expensive, but I want to burn her as is. It wouldn't be right to strip her skin off and sell her art as materials. Even if it's a waste, I'll take care of it, Penelope answers, easily eavesdropping now that I'm almost next in line. I'm already paying for the Templars who lost their lives on the way here, so I may as well. That causes a few raised eyebrows. Templars? Remus asks. Dead Templars. Song hisses. That's a story for our return trip, I think, Penelope answers, smiling. But let's just say Remus will be meeting an old cataclysmic friend of his. The grey-haired man pales. Oh, fuck. Gladra? Your old flame, Penelope jokes, eliciting groans all around. Holy shit, she's so happy that she's telling puns. Read the mood, Penelope, I snap at her. That's rich coming from, she cuts herself off, biting her lip. No. Never mind. You're absolutely right. This is not the time or place. I scowl at her. Well, at least that apology actually seems genuine. She blinks, shocked. Yeah, she acted it out pretty well back there, I'll give her that. Vita, not here, I grumble. Later. I'm way too mad to have it out with her right now. It's just a pun, don't kill the murderer. I need her to not be immolated by Templars, don't kill the murderer. She can help get my friend back, don't kill the murderer. We wrap up soon after that, Penelope finishing her spells and clearing me of the last Nora corpse. I copy Penta's trick crossing the bridge, closing my meat eyes and staring upwards for the entire walk. Then Penelope and I return to where the Templars are camped, where they immediately make us drink, surprise, more poison. At this point I'm really starting to feel the stuff, but they assure us both it's not enough to kill us, even after multiple doses. So, how'd it go? Gladra asks, her voice as irritated as it has always been since the Mistwatcher tendril had nearly killed us all. All of the Nora are dead, Penelope reports. One human casualty. Gladra whistles. Damn. I have to admit, that's pretty good, Vesuvius. Was it Remus? No. Then I don't care. Pack up camp, boys. We've got a town to occupy. The order to pack up camp was probably a joke, considering the entire thing is comprised of makeshift stick structures and monster hides. Someone among the Templars is apparently quite an impressive survivalist, but there still isn't much worth salvaging. You're occupying Lytia? Penelope asks, raising an eyebrow. Of course we are. It's an emergency situation. We have to double-check your work, after all. Can't just trust the word of a pair of newbie hunters. And when will the occupation of Lytia end? Penelope asks. Gladra just pops up her visor to grin at us and walks away. I'm not nice enough to not appreciate seeing Penelope pissed off for the first time since all this went down, even if I know this is probably, well, bad. Well, at least it will get the High Templar off our back for a while, Penelope comments, scowling. A few hours later, Remus crosses the bridge to join us, carrying what I can somehow feel is Theodora's body. Do I have a corpse sense now, or does it have to do with the fact that I have Theodora's soul with me? Either way, I'm also surprised to see Song following him, looking extra grim. Are you coming back to Skyhope with us, Song? I ask. They grunt in annoyance. Like fuck, I'm staying in the same town as Gladra, they hiss venomously. Besides, I need more time to berate Remus for screwing us this bad. They punch him in the arm, though Remus doesn't even flinch at the impact. He's still wearing the casual clothes he had on in the village, though from his massive backpack I assume he's bringing his armor with him. I don't see his sword anywhere, though. Where's your weapon? I ask. The Templars confiscated it, Remus answers glumly. I can't really argue that I deserve to keep it, even if it is just Gladra being petty. You guys don't like Lady Cathala either, huh? I ask. Song pulls down on their huge collar, revealing their face. From the lips all the way down the throat, to what appears to extend down onto the chest and beyond, Song is a mess of hideous, permanently swollen scar tissue. A mess of huge red lumps and mole-shapen skin. It seems hard to believe they even survived whatever fire did that to them. Fuck Gladra, Song hisses again, putting their collar back in place. Remus scratches at the burnt half of his own face, looking more sad than furious, but he nods his agreement. Anyway, we should be off. Thanks again, you two. I have been considerably humbled. No shit, Song growls. Read the fucking books next time, you idiot. I supplied most of the information in those books, Remus grumbles. Clearly not all of it. The two friends bicker on the way home as I settle in for a long walk. As it turns out, one of the first things we're going to need to do when we get home is what Slimus wanted to do, albeit with the objective of killing the other Nora in the forest rather than save them. They have to be cleared out to the best of the guild's ability, and stricter protocols against Nora invasion will likely be in effect for years after this event. The chance that the public will be told any of what happened to our team in Lytia village, however, is pretty much zero. Penelope and I are expected to keep mum on the subject. Perhaps even worse, my name will be going into a lot of secret records. Templars, nobles, and possibly even the king would read a bland report on my talents. Eyes are on me now, and even if it's only in a small way, it's the last thing I want when I'm trying to pretend to not be a necromancer. Penelope, annoyingly, has set herself up as my best lifeline. Being a servant of her house affords me the assumption that someone is probably handling me, and at the very least that someone would be annoyed if people got into their business. Noble politics, apparently. The trip home isn't too eventful. We're actually attacked by a pretty big monster once, but Remus and Song got it before Penelope and I can even do anything. It's quickly turned into a nice snack, both physically and spiritually. There's not much to do or say, and soon enough the days pass and we make it back to Skyhope. There is, of course, one place I rush to first when I return. Home. Home to Lynn, to Rowan, to the kids in the shack. I have food to buy, hugs to give, and things to talk about. Many, many things to talk about. What do you mean there's nothing in front of us? Baldreg asks. How is that ambiguous? Ivan drawls back. There's nothing in front of us. No movement. Some wind and that's it. Nothing triggers my danger sense in that direction either, Fulvia confirms. It's as blank as good farmland. What the actual fuck? Baldreg swears quietly. Does anybody here know what that means? I'm telling you, it's a fungus plague, Ivan insists. Spore canisters. We're gonna walk in there, inhale something bad, and then fucking die. Well, that's what we have Claretta for, Baldreg answers. Claretta? All eyes swing my way. I shrug. You're all as fungicidal as I can make you, I insist for probably the 5th time. I still haven't detected a hint of it, but at this point I hope it's spores. We're best equipped for that, since Ivan never shuts up about it. Ivan flips me a nasty hand sign and I smirk back at him. As the team's biomancer, I've saved their lives several dozen times and they know better than to backsass me too much. Baldreg heads in first, the team's defender and leader. Tall and broad-shouldered, with a face entirely hidden by a bushy black beard, the dual-talented bastard can move crazy fast and shrug off blows that would kill anyone else. He excels at drawing attention or moving to back the rest of us up wherever he's needed. Ivan and Fulvia both scout, with Ivan working as our main long-range offense in combat with his neticism and Fulvia just using her massive goddamn mace. She tends to mostly be a distraction against smaller, quicker enemies, but holy shit, there's no one better when a big motherfucker starts charging at you from between the trees. Ivan's always been the runt of the group, pale, thin, and even shorter than I am. While Fulvia isn't much taller, we don't tell her that to her face. Her insane strength is all talent-based, letting her crush things far larger than her thin frame would imply. I'm actually almost as tall as Baldreg, sporting short-cropped blonde hair and a freckled face that other people seem to like a lot more than I do. All of us wear light armor except Fulvia, who's strong enough to wear full chitin plate without getting slowed down. We're all hunters, naturally, sent to investigate the drop zone of those black orbs Vigor dumped on us. Slowly we follow Ivan in, the forest eerily silent around us as we make our way towards the center of whatever is causing this disturbance. Magic enchantments on my allies keep me constantly aware of changes to their health, which should alert me instantly if some amount of toxin or contaminant is introduced. At least in theory. The plants around here seem unaffected by whatever caused this utter lack of animal life, the slight rustle of wind flowing through the top branches being the only sound other than our own footsteps. I see something, Baldreg whispers. I still feel nothing, Ivan answers. Same, Fulvia confirms. Could be a corpse, then. Let's check it out. We approach cautiously, Ivan firing a pellet into the creature's head to no reaction. Sure enough, a corpse is exactly what it is. An inky black creature the likes of which I've never seen lies dead on the forest floor, with two bladed forelimbs and two raptor-like hindlimbs. Its mouth hangs open, with even its sharp, curved teeth and tongue the same pitch-dark color as the rest of its body. Yet perhaps most notably, why wasn't the corpse eaten? I wonder, prompting a few nods from my teammates. The monster was bitten in quite a few places, having most likely died of blood loss. But whatever bit it to death didn't eat it afterwards. Why? Why kill it and just leave it here? Maybe it's poisonous? Ivan ponders. If it's bad enough to ward off creatures from the area, we'd see other corpses around it, Fulvia insists. Do we burn it? I ask, turning to Baldreg. He shakes his head. No, it would have risen by now if it was going to. I don't want to risk toxic smoke, either. We nod in agreement, getting back in formation to move out. More and more black creature corpses litter the ground as we get closer to the center of the dead zone, though each looks different from the last. Some have 4 limbs, some have 6 or 8. Most are chitin covered, though many have fur or just night-like skin. These dark creatures are far from the only corpses around, too. Countless dead monsters of known varieties are strewn about, each having been injured just enough to die, then left to rot. I don't like this. I don't like this at all. The whole team is aware that stomping headfirst into an unknown situation this deep into the forest will likely be the death of us. Yet that is exactly what we're here to do. We're hunters. We walk into an unexpected clearing, or at least what will be a clearing for the short time before the forest reclaims it. A devastating scene of destruction lies around us, trees smashed and toppled, corpses strewn everywhere. Most notably, in the center of it all are the remains of the black ovoids dropped by Vigor. Each one is broken, either from the fall, or from within. Eggs, I hiss. Fulvia wins the bet. Fuck yeah I do, she murmurs. But also, shit. Hey, at least it's not spores, Ivan comments wryly. Baldreg thinks for a while, examining the haphazard pyramid of dropped eggs formed from the fall. The black creatures definitely hatched from them, many corpses hanging limply from partially shattered shells as they burst on impact. The sheer number here is massive, creating a towering structure of loosely stacked ovoids. Hundreds, if not thousands of these creatures must have been released into the surrounding forest, slaughtering everything in their path. We're going to cut towards Viala, Baldreg decides. It's the closest decently sized town. If these monsters are going to be a problem, they'll need to know first. We nod in confirmation, setting back out on high alert. The dead zone seems to hold no further surprises for us, and it's almost with trepidation that we leave it, heading outward. From there, it's the usual slog, avoiding confrontation as we trek through the deadly forest. The first time we encounter a living specimen of the black creatures, the fight is surprisingly straightforward. Large and ravenous, A massive centipede-like monster rushes directly at us, lacking any apparent thought or subtlety. Baldreg holds it back as Fulvia makes quick work of it. It's just like any other monster, it seems. We continue on, easily dispatching most of the creatures we encounter, but taking care to avoid anything that makes either of our two scouts nervous. Each and every inky black beast we stumble on seems ravenously aggressive, barreling towards us on first detection with no thought of self-defense or caution. We try to keep clear of all such creatures, though there are far fewer things roaming the forest than we are used to. The number of remaining monsters that Fulvia insists are out of our weight class is abnormally high. Still, we press on, managing to avoid major dangers, at least for now. Hold up, Ivan suddenly whispers, causing us to freeze. I feel nest weaver threads. Fulvia scowls. I don't feel anything that could be nest weavers, though. Yeah, me neither, Ivan agrees. But I'm feeling a lot of threads. Like there was a brood mother here or something. Fulvia and Ivan working in tandem has always been a dream team for our ability to scout threats. Fulvia uses a classic danger sense, but Ivan uses kineticism to feel for movement. While he generally lacks the ability to pick up on fine details, nestweaver threads were a priority to learn the air patterns for, and he learned them well. Nestweaver, naturally, is just the official term for one of the many kinds of giant fucking spiders. While most of them don't grow beyond my knees, certain kinds of nestweavers can get enormous, and broodmothers can be a city-destroying threat. I don't groan out loud, but we all know those awful words are coming. We'll have to go check it out, Baldreg sighs. Point the way, Ivan. He does, and our course changes slightly as Ivan points out hidden threads or simply cuts them down with magic. As we travel, the nestweaver presence becomes more and more obvious, with huge thread-made structures lining the trees that give the creatures their name. Soon, though, we start seeing the corpses. It's like the dead zone, Baldreg murmurs. It's worse than the dead zone, I answer. Laid out before us, many creatures are trapped in webs, all dead. All of them have had their limbs bitten off in a startling display of inefficiency, like some monster was trying to keep them alive as long as possible while it tormented them, leaving the corpses to attract more prey and to traps once the victims finally died. I share this opinion with the team, to their distress. Are you sure, Claretta? Baldreg insists. If that's true, we're dealing with something that has a degree of intelligence. I don't see any other reason the creature would eat the limbs first. Most of a body's nutrients are going to be in the organs. The wounds are definitely from bites though, and the lack of limbs strewn around implies they're being swallowed. Back in the kill zone, the bites were all over the place, Ivan comments. Here, they're just on limbs. What the fuck is happening? Shut up, Fulvia snaps. Something's coming. Midweek. We tense, getting ready to strike. Slowly, one of the black creatures pokes out from behind a tree, peering curiously. This one has 6 legs, yet attached to a more mammal-like torso about the size of a child's. Its 4 front legs taper into points, while its back 2 are thick, with coiled muscles that seem specialized for jumping. The creature tilts its head at us, and after we briefly stare each other down it turns and retreats back into the forest. Where's it going? Baldreg asks. Circling, Ivan mutters back. Shoot it, Baldreg orders. Ivan does exactly that, pulling a pellet from his pouch and firing it somewhere in the underbrush beyond where I can see. I got a glancing hit. It's running off. Good, Baldreg nods. Let's keep going. We continue making slow progress, bit by bit, until Fulvia suddenly calls out. 2 incoming fast. One's way too strong. Shit. Baldreg curses. Retreat. Fulvia points a direction and we hoof it fast that way, but she immediately starts swearing again. Still incoming. Turning to follow us. Fuck, fuck, fuck. About face, intercept. I sprint past Baldreg as we rapidly reverse formation, turning around just in time to see the little shit we shot at just a few minutes ago rushing at us with an absolutely massive creature snapping at it from behind. Though the small monster's head and face are more insect-like than human, I swear the damn thing is grinning. Then it jukes past us, and the big monster hits. It's another dark one, a lumbering, 4-legged beast with 2 thick, club-like arms. Roaring madly at us, it immediately swaps targets to our team when the little thing runs past us by simple virtue of us being closer. As it swings an arm down, Baldreg steps to the side, giving Fulvia an opening to land a crushing blow while Ivan magically fires more pellets with twice the force of a bow. I, for my part, start singing. Though I'm a biomancer by trade, the talent I was born with is actually metamancy. I understand the complex flows of magic far more easily when manipulating them with my voice than with my hands, and oftentimes instinctively find myself tweaking the structure of spells as I cast them to vary the effects into more beautiful patterns. I can literally heal people with songs, although personally I prefer the upbeat tune that heightens my team's reflexes and perceptions. Bow in hand, I contribute to our gruesome work as my breath flows with music. Although my arrows draw little blood from the exoskeletal beast, I happen to be a damn decent shot. The fight quickly turns in our favor once I nail one of the beast's eyes. Just as quickly, it turns out of our favor as the smaller monster leaps from the brush and hamstrings Fulvia with its teeth. She shrieks in pain, dropping to one knee. Ivan and I let loose projectiles in the smaller monster's direction but fail to land crippling shots, letting the beast rush off once again. Shit. Claretta. Baldreg shouts. I'm already swapping songs, pounding my chest plate 3 times to indicate a major injury. The damn little bastard tore a huge chunk out of the back of Fulvia's knee, hitting an artery and severing important muscles. Grabbing her under the armpits I drag her back, only to watch Ivan turn around and barely dodge another attack from the little one. This is bad, very bad. I have to focus my attention on Fulvia's leg, though. When we get enough distance I put pressure on the wound and focus my magic in there, coaxing her body to repair the damage as quickly as possible. Ivan and Baldreg are each stuck fighting their respective opponent alone, which is without question a losing battle unless I can get Fulvia back on her feet to finish off the big one. The little one breaks contact with Ivan, leaping at Baldreg who barely manages to dodge it in the larger monster. Once again, the little one retreats, leaving half of us guessing on where it might strike from next. The battle carries on this way, and even once I get Fulvia back into the fray she's exhausted from the strain I put on her body by healing her that quickly. Little by little we wear down the huge beast, but more quickly than that, we ourselves are worn down. Suddenly, the big one lands a lucky hit, biting off Baldreg's sword arm and a significant chunk of his shoulder along with it. With horror, I realize I can't save him from that. He's going to die, and after him the rest of us will too. Yet at that moment the little one switches sides, biting at the large monster's back legs. The giant turns its head to kick and Fulvia slams it in the flank, knocking it over. The small monster takes another quick pair of bites before scampering off. Fulvia follows it up with a powerful swing to pulp the larger monster's head. Claretta. Fulvia roars. Get Baldreg. He's dead. I answer, catching my breath. Where's the little one? Still. Arg, fuck. Still circling around. Ivan hisses. I think it's making more webs. I thought you said nest weavers made the webs. Fulvia snaps back. Well, I thought they, incoming. Ivan turns and fires a shot, missing. The small, black-toothed monster lunges at him, taking a hand, a kidney, and scampering off before Fulvia or I can strike back. Ivan bites down a scream of pain, and once again I'm singing as fast as I can to desperately keep him from bleeding out. We have to move. Fulvia insists. It's just trapping us. Ivan falls unconscious in my arms, but I manage to halt the flow of blood before he dies. Fulvia scoops Ivan onto her back and we run, refusing to give up. Whatever these monsters are, we can't take them. Well, we could take most of them. Just not this one. There's no doubt in my mind it lured the large one on purpose, using it against us. And now, with our group's leader dead and our primary scout down, we don't have anyone that can spot and deal with the nestweaver threads. Just as I feared, I run headlong into a web. Damn it, but what are we supposed to do? If we had been slower, more careful, we would have just been eaten alive. I'm trapped now, though, and it's over. Fulvia tries to free me only to get caught herself. The nestweaver webs tangle us, and in an instant the black-toothed monster is on top of us, layering thicker strands from its forelimbs and binding us up. I stare with horror as it begins to feast, starting with Fulvia's foot. Despite its small size, it chomps through bone in a single bite. Lying bound on my back and waiting for my team to die, I do the only thing I can do. I sing. It's not a magical song, just an old favorite. I've always loved my talent, having blessed me with the kind of voice I need to make good use of it. I sing a song about a lark, a lone bird flying between the islands. Fulvia screams, and I close my eyes to sing louder, tears streaming down my cheekbones. What else is there to do? Suddenly, there's a pressure on my belly. Opening my eyes, I stare face to face with that grinning, ruthless monster, its black teeth stained red. Done with the others so soon, are you? I ask it. It tilts its head, naturally not understanding the words at all. Yet to my surprise, I hear a groan from Fulvia's direction. She's alive. I start singing again, this time a song of healing. The monster just sits on my belly, watching and listening. We're almost certainly going to die, but we're hunters, damn it. I'm not going to just roll over and let it happen. If this thing is full, we might have another chance. Her left leg is completely gone, though. I have magic to restore limbs, but it will take days of treatment. That wretched, six-limbed beast just lounges like a cat on top of me, watching with slow blinking eyes as Fulvia's bleeding ebbs and stops. Then it walks off my stomach and bites off my arm. All I can do is keep singing,